All right, let's just jump right in. What if I told you that the person you're going to be in 2026 has almost nothing to do with motivation or luck or some huge viral breakthrough? We all chase those exciting, flashy moments, right? But they just don't last. The real transformation, well, that happens somewhere else entirely.
And you know why that is? It's because we're all taught to chase feelings. But your future isn't built on a feeling. It's definitely not built on waiting around for that perfect, super energized moment to finally get started.
And this is the uncomfortable truth, isn't it? Your future is built on the small, kind of unimpressive, and, let's be honest, downright boring things you do consistently, day in, day out. So let's dive in and see exactly how these quiet little habits can create a life that's, well, anything but boring.
So why is it that so many of us feel stuck? Like we end up in the exact same place year after year? Well, it's because we all fall for something I like to call the motivation trap. I mean, think about it. We're always chasing these huge, exciting things, right? Viral success, big moments, that sudden jolt of motivation. But here's the problem. Motivation is just a feeling, and feelings, they're temporary. So when that initial excitement wears off, and trust me, it always does, we're left with a choice. Do we do the hard, consistent work, or do we go back to what's comfortable? And yeah, most of us choose comfort. And that's exactly why nothing ever really changes.
Okay, so if motivation isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the solution is something we actually tend to avoid, but it is incredibly, incredibly powerful.
This right here is really the heart of it all. It's not about some big event in the future, the person you'll be in 2026. They're being built right now, today, by all those tiny, seemingly insignificant choices you're making in this very moment. These habits, they're never going to go viral, but man, do they work.
All right, so let's get practical. We're going to start with 5 foundational habits. Think of these as the simple, non-negotiable things that create the bedrock for literally everything else. Okay, first up, forget all that 5 a.m. hustle culture hype. This is not about when you wake up, it's about consistency. See, your brain absolutely loves rhythm. When you wake up at the same time every single day, yep, even on weekends, your body knows exactly what to expect. Your energy stabilizes, your mind gets clearer, and discipline starts to feel automatic. You stop fighting the alarm clock and you just get up. Habit number 2, plan tomorrow tonight. You know how most people wake up and immediately get sucked into their phone, reacting to emails, notifications, basically letting the world dictate their day? Well, this super simple habit flips that entire script. Every single night, just take 5 minutes. That's it. Decide on the 3 most important things for tomorrow. That way you wake up with direction, not distraction. And all that precious morning energy, it goes into action, not into agonizing over what you should do first. Next up, habit number 3, a daily silent walk. Now we're talking about a walk with a little twist. No podcasts, no music, definitely no scrolling. Just you and your thoughts. In a world that is just constantly screaming for your attention, this gives your brain space to finally breathe. You'll find your stress levels drop, problems start to untangle themselves, and new ideas just kind of pop up. This isn't just exercise, it's a total mental reset.
Okay, habit number 4 is all about eating simple meals. We tend to overcomplicate food, don't we? We're always jumping from one diet to the next, searching for the perfect plan. But the truth is so much simpler. Just find a few healthy, easy meals that you actually enjoy and eat them most of the time. What happens? You get less decision fatigue, way more stable energy, and a calmer mind. It's not glamorous for sure, but that repetition quietly upgrades both your health and your discipline.
And the last of our foundational habits, number 5, save before you spend. Now, this one can feel a little uncomfortable at first, I get it, but it changes everything. Stop trying to save what's left over after you spend. Instead, spend what's left over after you save. And it doesn't matter if the amount is small. What you're really doing here is training a muscle. Not just a financial one, but the muscle of patience, of delayed gratification. And over time, this habit doesn't just save you money. It literally buys you freedom. It buys you options.
All right, you've got the foundation. Now let's move on to the next set. These next 5 habits, they go a little deeper. They're not just about the things you do. They're about fundamentally reshaping who you believe you are.
Habit number 6 starts with a small, almost laughable number, just 10 pages. 10 pages of a book a day. I mean, so many people say they don't have time to read, but they somehow find hours to scroll, right? 10 pages? It feels so easy, your brain doesn't even put up a fight.
But watch what happens next. That tiny, almost effortless little action, it quietly compounds into over 3,600 pages a year. And that works out to about a dozen books a year. You see, you're not just reading anymore. You are becoming a reader. You're literally upgrading how you think, how you speak, and how you see the world. Just 10 pages at a time. Now, this next habit is completely invisible to everyone else, but it might be the most important one for your own identity. It's simply this: keep the promises you make to yourself. Think about it. Every time you say, I'll do it later, and then you don't, a tiny piece of self-trust just chips away. So you have to start small. If you promise yourself 10 minutes of work, do the 10 minutes. Every single kept promise rebuilds that trust, proving to your own brain that you are someone who actually follows through.
You know, most of us just live on autopilot, right? We repeat the same mistakes week after week and wonder why nothing changes. Well, this habit breaks that cycle. It's a weekly reflection, just 20 minutes once a week to ask yourself 3 really honest questions. What worked this week? What didn't? And what needs to change? This simple little practice, it turns your life from something that just happens to you into something you are intentionally designing.
Habit number 9 is a big one. You have to limit who gets access to you. Seriously, this is a game changer. Your energy and your focus are your most valuable assets, and not everybody deserves access to them. And look, this isn't about being rude. It's about being strategic with your time and your life. When you cut out the unnecessary drama, the pointless meetings, the distracting conversations, you're protecting your ability to focus on what actually matters. Remember, your environment will always win against your willpower. And finally, we've arrived at habit number 10. This might be the most life-changing one of all. Every single day, do one hard thing. Do one thing you just don't feel like doing. Make that call you've been avoiding. Start the workout even when you're tired. Finish that task you keep putting off. Because real discipline, it isn't built in some grand heroic moment. It's forged in these tiny, daily decisions where you choose action over comfort.
So, what does this all add up to? How do all these small, kind of boring habits actually lead to a massive transformation down the line?
Well, the journey looks a lot like this. It starts today, with actions that feel, well, pretty insignificant. But as you repeat them day after day, discipline stops being such a struggle. It just becomes automatic. And as you keep those promises to yourself, your self-trust becomes rock solid. And then, before you even know it, that future version of yourself you've been dreaming of, they start to emerge. Not from some giant leap, but from thousands and thousands of tiny, consistent steps. And here's the final, powerful truth in all of this. This is a quiet, personal journey. No one is going to clap for you for taking a silent walk or for saving a tiny bit of money. But in a few years, the calm you feel, the confidence you have, the freedom you've built, those results will be absolutely undeniable. They will speak way louder than any explanation ever could.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question. Your 2026 self. They're watching you. They're watching what you do right now, today. And they are really, really hoping you don't quit on the boring work that's going to change everything for them. So, what are you going to show them?